Hello friends, welcome to Unreal Blueprints video tutorials series. From the past few video tutorials, we are trying to understand mathematical functions in Unreal Blueprint. We understood absolute function. It returns absolute value of a number. That is, it returns positive value of a number. Whenever you want to get positive value of a number, you use absolute function. Next, we understood power function. It returns base raised to the power of exponent. Whenever you want to find x raised to the power of y, then you use power function. SQRT returns square root of a number. Whenever you want to find square root of a number, you use SQRT function. We understood min function. It returns minimum of the given numbers. If you want to get maximum of the given numbers, you use max function. Floor function rounds a floating point number down to the nearest integer, whereas ceil function rounds a floating point number up to the nearest integer. Whenever you want to round a floating point number, you use round function. And whenever you want to extract integer part from a floating point number, you use truncate function, guys. Okay, we understood absolute, power, SQRT, min, max, floor, ceil, round, and truncate. In this video, I would like to discuss Lerp, clamp, and InterpTo. Let's start with Lerp node. Okay, Lerp returns a value between a and b based on the alpha value. Lerp function or Lerp node returns a value between a and b based on the given alpha value, where a indicates minimum value to be returned, a indicates minimum value to be returned, b indicates maximum value to be returned. If alpha value is 0, then it returns a. If alpha value is 1, then it returns b. Other than 0 to 1, okay, it will return in between value within this range. Okay, let's have a demo and understand. I right click here and search for the sequence node. Connect the execution pins. I right click and search for Lerp node. So I am selecting Lerp float. Minimum value I give 0, maximum value I give 100. A value 0, B value 100. I right click and say here print string. And then I connect the execution pins, connect the data pin. So what output we get here? If alpha value is 0, as I told, it returns the A value. We get 0, guys. Okay. If I say compile, save, come to level 1 and play, you see we got 0. I'm going to copy this and paste down. Connect the execution pins. If the alpha value is 1, it returns the B value, that is the maximum value. Definitely we'll get here 100. If I say compile, save, come to level 1 and play, you see we got 100. I'm going to copy this and paste down. If I set here 0.5, I add one more pin, connect the execution pins. So half of 0 plus 100 is 100, half of 100 is 50. So definitely we'll get here 50. 0.5 means half, right? Compile, save, come to level 1 and play, you see we got 50, guys. So that is how it returns the value between a and b based on the alpha value. If it is 0, it returns a value. If it is 1, it returns b value. If it is 0.5, it is returning half. So 0.2 means 20%, like that. Understanding? So let's say one more example I'll give here. Minimum value 100 I give. Maximum value I give 200. Minimum value 100. Maximum value 200. Minimum value 100, maximum value 200. Alpha value is 0. What we get, guys? It returns a value. So definitely we'll get 100 displayed. Okay. Alpha value is 1. What we get? It returns a b value. Definitely we'll get here 200. Alpha value is 0.5. So what happens here? 100 plus 200 is 300. Half of 300 is 150. So we will get here 150, guys. So we get the output 100, 200, 150. Compile, save, come to level 1 and play. You see we got 100, 200, 150. So that is how the Lerp node works? It indicates linearly interpolate between A and B based on the alpha value. Okay, alpha value between 0 and 1, remember that. Okay, I am going to delete this. Now we understood the Lerp node. Let's understand the clamp node. Clamp function clamps the given value between minimum and maximum value. What it does? Clamp function clamps the given value between minimum and maximum value. That means if the given value is less than the minimum value, it returns the minimum value. If the given value is less than the minimum value, it returns the minimum value. If the given value is greater than the maximum value, it returns the maximum value. If the given value is greater than the maximum value, then it returns the maximum value. If the given value is between minimum and maximum value, then it returns as it is. If the given value is within this range, then it returns the value as it is, guys. Let's have a demo. I right click here and search for clamp. I'm going to select here clamp integer. I set the minimum value 0, maximum value 100. I right click and search for print string node. Connect the execution pins, connect the data pin. Okay. Now, what output we get here? Given value, let's say minus 10, I said. Okay. Value is minus 10. Given value is less than the minimum value. So definitely it returns the minimum value, guys. We'll get here 0 displayed. Compile, save, come to level 1 and play. You see we got 0. Given value is less than the minimum value. So it returns 0. It clamps to 0. Let me copy this and paste down. I connect the execution pins. Here I give the value more than 100. Let's say 120. Given value is greater than max. So definitely it returns the max value. We'll get here 100, guys. If I say compile, save, come to level 1 and play, we get 100. So remember this. I'm going to copy this and paste down and connect the execution pins. If I give the value within the range from 0 to 100, let's say I give 50, then it returns the value as it is. So here we will get 50, guys. If I say compile, save, come to level 1 and play, you see we got 50. Let's take one more example. I give the minimum value 100. Maximum value I give 200. Minimum value I give 100. Maximum value I give 200. Minimum value I give 100. Maximum value I give 200. Okay, now let's say we give the value less than 100. Let's say 50. So what happens? If the given value is less than the minimum value, it returns the minimum value. So it clamps to 100. Next, I'm going to give here, let's say 250. If the given value is greater than the maximum value, then it clamps to maximum value. We get here 200. Next, I give the value within the range. Let's say it is 150. 150 is within the range 100 to 200. So definitely it will return back 150 as it is. So we get the output 100, 200, 150. Compile, save, come to level 1 and play. You see we got 100, 200, 150, guys. So that is how the clamp node works. It clamps the given value within this range, guys. Okay. So that's it for this. Let's delete these nodes. Next we are going to understand InterpTo node or InterpTo function. InterpTo function transitions the current value to the target value smoothly. What it does? It transitions the current value to the target value smoothly. So it takes the delta time and the speed. Okay, let's understand. Here I'm going to create one variable called as num. I'm going to compile and I'm setting the initial value to 0. Okay, initial value is 0. Now I'm going to use InterpTo. InterpTo. We have many other InterpTos, like we have rotator InterpTo, we have vector InterpTo, we have transform InterpTo, vector InterpTo, like that. Here I am using float InterpTo because I want to change this float value. So I am using float InterpTo. Okay, now what I want to get this number, okay, get the number, give it here as a current value. I want to change the number num from 0 to 100. So target value I give 100. So number should go from 0 to 100 smoothly. For smoothly, I am going to use event tick node. Okay, event tick, which is going to execute continuously per frame, right? Event tick. Okay, I give the delta time over here, and then I am going to say here set number, connect the execution pins, connect the return value. So it takes the correct num value and it takes to the 100 slowly, guys. And if speed is 0, the num value immediately changes to 100, guys. Let me show that. If I say here print string, connect the execution pins and connect the data pins. Now if I run this code, okay, if I run this, we'll definitely see 100 displayed continuously. If I say play, you see it is displaying 100 because speed is set to 0 speed. Immediately num value goes to 100. If I change this to 1 and compile and save, now the num value smoothly changes from 0 to 100. Compile, save, come to level 1 and play. You see it is smoothly changing 80, 90, 96, 98, 99, right? It is smoothly changing. It goes to 100, you see now. That's 100, you see that, right? Smoothly num value is changing from 0 to 100, 11, 16, you can see that 99 to 100, right? So that is how the InterpTo node works. So InterpTo, what it does, it transitions the current value to the target value smoothly based on the speed and the delta time, guys. Understanding? If you want to increase the speed, definitely you can increase, guys. So instead of 1, if you say 5, compile, save, come to level 1 and play. Now it goes fast towards 100. See, num value is 100 now. So that is how FInterpTo is used, where you are changing the float value. Like that we have many other InterpTo, guys. Like we have InterpTo, which you can use to change the location of the actor smoothly, or you can use to change the size of the actor smoothly. We have InterpTo, which is rotator InterpTo, where you can rotate an actor smoothly from specific degree to target degree, guys. Okay, we have many other InterpTos, like we have InterpTo, which is telling you tries to reach target transform based on distance from the current position, giving a nice smooth feeling. So like this we have many InterpTo nodes, which we are going to discuss anyhow in the upcoming video tutorials. For this video tutorial, this much is enough, guys. I suggest you people to try these things yourself, understand everything clearly, experiment. Okay, in the upcoming video tutorials we discuss more about mathematical functions in Unreal Blueprint. If you like this video, hit the like button and share with your friends so that everyone will get benefited. For more benefits and be up to date, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Keep learning, keep designing, keep sharing. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial.